Hello, horse racing fans. It's Mark with InHereTheyCome.com. We're getting ready for the third leg of the Triple Crown Series, the Belmont Stakes at Saratoga. This will be the second consecutive year that the Belmont Stakes has been held in the upstate New York track, Saratoga, because of the renovations being done at Belmont Park, the 2-year renovation. Anyways, this will be the 157th edition. What we're going to do in this video is we're going to look at some key trends and angles to use in handicapping of the Belmont Stakes. It is the third race in the 5, quote, short weeks, the Kentucky Derby, Preakness, and the Belmont Stakes. Preakness Stakes winner, Journalism, will be going for his second leg of the Triple Crown Series and has been made the post-time favorite. The Kentucky Derby winner, Sovereignty, is the second favorite, basically co-favorite with Journalism. Will be trying to get his second leg of the Triple Crown Series. Journalism ran in both leg 1 and 2, whereas Sovereignty skipped leg 2 and was waiting for leg 3. When the Belmonts run at Saratoga, it's not at the marathon, the standard marathon distance, the traditional distance of 1.5 miles, but at just 1.25 miles. So handicapping of the race is completely different. It's closer to how we handicap the Kentucky Derby, or even the Breeders' Cup Classic, or the Travers Stake is the same distance in the Midsummer Derby. So it's the showdown, known as the showdown. We have a field of 9 runners, actually 8 runners. But Journalism taking on Sovereignty. Sovereignty beat Journalism in the final yards of the Kentucky Derby in a sloppy track to win that. Journalism was the favorite for the Kentucky Derby, finished second, and then went on to the Preakness as the favorite there and was able to win the race after being stuck in close quarters and had to bull his way through and the final turn into the stretch. So it's setting up to be an exciting race. In addition to this, the third place runner in the Kentucky Derby, Baeza, is going to return in the Belmont Stakes. So we're actually going to have the 1, 2, 3 finishers in the Kentucky Derby in the Belmont Stakes. Interesting. It should be exciting. Here is the field of 8 for the Belmont Stakes. And as you can see, Journalism is slight favorite at 8-5 over Sovereignty at 2-1. Now, when it comes post time, they're going to be pretty much the same odds, I feel. A lot of people are going to be betting Journalism, and a lot of people are going to be betting Sovereignty. Journalism will probably be a slight favorite over Sovereignty. But they're going to be real close. So they're basically co-favorites in a race. So it's a matter of, can anybody else beat these two? Well, the history in the Belmont Stakes says, yeah, the favorites do get beat. So it's a matter of who has the best shot of beating these two. The last Kentucky Derby winner that skipped the Preakness to win the Belmont Stakes was recently in 2022 with Rich Strike. He finished 6th in the Belmont Stakes. So he was a 50-1 long shot winner, last in the field on Kentucky Derby Day, and really hasn't lived up to that feat since. Last wire-to-wire winner was Triple Crown winner Justify in 2018. The last deep closer to win was back in 2019 with Sir Winston. The last new shooter, Triple Crown new shooter, to win was just 2 years ago with Arcangelo, winning the Belmont Stakes, who had not run in the Derby or the Preakness. And the last layoff horse since running in the Derby to win the Belmont Stakes was You guessed it, last year with Dornoch, the big upset winner last year. Will we have another layoff winner winning this year? Or will we get a new shooter winning this year, upsetting the favorites? That's the big question. Here is, we're going to show you a list of the Belmont Stakes winners, what their last race was prior to running into Belmont, and how they finished in that race. And then also what was the winner that year of the winning price of the Belmont Stakes winner that year. So last year it was Dornoch. Ran in the Kentucky Derby, finished 10th. He got stuck in the one hole and he had no shot winning the Derby. But skipped the Preakness and came back and upset the field last year, paying $37.40. Year before was Arcangelo. Won the Peter Pan, upset the field, paying $17.80. 2022 was Mo Donegal, ran 5th in the Kentucky Derby, paid $7.20. Everybody liked him because of the Tappet sire at $7.20. 2021 it was Essential Quality, 4th in the Kentucky Derby, paid $4.60 to Belmont Stakes. 2020 was year of COVID. We can pretty much throw that year out because everything was screwed up in the timing and the sequence of when the races, the Triple Crown races were run, and everything was out of sequence. But anyways, it was 'tis the law as the Belmont Stakes was moved up and it was run at a much shorter distance of 1 1/8 miles. And 'tis the law's last prior race to that was the Florida Derby, which he won. And he was a favorite in the Belmont Stakes, only paying $3.60. Then we look at Sir Winston, was runner-up in a Peter Pan Stakes to upset the field, a deep closer, paying $22.40. Justify, of course, he ran the Triple Crown winner, ran in all 3 races, and went off as the favorite. Taprit, 2017, 6th in the Kentucky Derby. Creator, 2016, 13th in the Kentucky Derby, and came back and won, paying a whopping $34.80. And then we have another Triple Crown winner, American Pharoah. Of course, ran in all 3 legs and was the favorite. In the Belmont, paying $3.50. And we go back to 2014 again. We have the Peter Pan winner, Tonalist. Paid $20 winning the Belmont Stakes. Palace Malice finished 12th in the Kentucky Derby, came back winning the Belmont Stakes, paying $29.60. And then in 2012, we had Union Rags, 7th in the Kentucky Derby, paid $7.50. 2011, Ruler on Ice was 2nd in a Federico Tezio, paying $51.50. Proud to say I had this with the Exacta, big Exacta, and what it was, they were like, we had a sloppy, it rained late in the afternoon that year, I remember watching, and it was like looking at the PPs to see who had run and well on an off track, and Ruler on Ice was one of those, and he was going off at 25-1, and then the Exacta was another long shot who was proven on the off track, and it was a nice hit, but it was all because of the off track and upset the field. Drosselmeyer came out of the Dwyer Stakes where he ran 2nd and then paid $28 on Belmont Stakes Day. Summerbird, Kentucky Derby, 6th, came back $25.80. The Tara was a wire-to-wire winner after the other early speed was scratched that year. It ran in the Barbaro Stakes, so he was a new shooter and paying $79. And then we had the filly, Rags to Riches, winning the Kentucky Oaks. Came back and paid $10.60. Giselle, 4th in the Kentucky Derby, coming back paying $14.40. So as you can see, 18 of the last 25 Belmont winners also ran in the Kentucky Derby. Didn't necessarily win the Kentucky Derby, but ran in the Kentucky Derby. 72% of the Belmont winners in the last 25 years ran in the Kentucky Derby. So we definitely we'll give heavy consideration to our runners coming out of the Kentucky Derby this year as well. And we've got what? We've got 1, 2, 3. We got 3 runners, and they're going to be the 3 favorites. 7 of the last 10, though, 39% of the Belmont winners did not run in the Derby or the Preakness. Otherwise, they were a new shooter in the Triple Crown. And we do have this year, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 new shooters in the field this year. There's 2 runners coming out of the Preakness. Of course, the winner, Journalism, and then we got the Euro shipper, Heart of Honor, who is somewhat of an unknown as far as his talent against American runners. However, he's 30-1 in the morning line, and he's somebody it could definitely surprise and be in a trifecta. Upset the field? I don't know. It might be a good idea to put a saver bet on the guy, or hook him up in an exacta with the 3 favorites just in case. I'll probably do that myself. Keeping in mind, looking at favorites. Favorites only won 7 of the last 27 Belmonts. 8 of the last odds-on favorites all lost. 8 of 11 lost. Now, I don't believe we're going to have an odds-on favorite because we have 2 co-favorites, basically. So I doubt if we have an odds-on favorite. But if Journalism or Sovereignty ends up being an odds-on favorite, we're not going to use them on top. We'll use them second and third. In the last 18, there's only been 9 favorites, about 50%. In the last 18 years, a favorite hit the exacta, so either win or second. So we definitely are going to use Journalism or Sovereignty, whichever one ends up being the favorite at post time. We're going to be sure we're using them in the exacta, like everyone else will be. Just keep in mind, 26 of the last 37 favorites all lost in the Belmont Stakes. So, that doesn't speak well of Journalism this year. Although I do like Journalism. That's my favorite pedigree factors. All right, here's a recent history of the favorites in the Belmont Stakes and how they finished. Last year, Sierra Leone, everybody liked him to win the Belmont Stakes. Went off at 3-2. Finished third. Then we have Forte, 2-1 odds. Vodonical, favorite, 5-2. He won. Essential Quality, 3-2 favorite. He won. The COVID year, Tis the Law, 4 odds on, 4-5. He won. Tactus, 2-1. Ran second. Justified, Triple Crown winner, 3-5 odds on, he won. Irish War Cry, 5-2 favorite in 2017. He won the Preakness that year. Ran second in the Belmont Stakes. Exaggerator, the 3-2 favorite, finished 11th, no better than 11th in the Belmont Stakes. And then in 2015, American Pharoah, another Triple Crown winner, as odds on, was able to, of course, win the race. 2014, California Chrome, odds on favorite, 4th. Lost the race, finished 4th. Orb, 2-1 favorite, ran 3rd. Dullahan, 5-2, finished 7th. Animal Kingdom, 5-2, 6th. Icebox, 2-1, 9th. Mind That Bird, the Kentucky Derby 50-1 upset winner, 3-2, finished 3rd. Big Brown did not finish the race, has odds on 1-5. Curlin, even odds, ran 2nd in the Belmont Stakes. The super stud Curlin, 2nd is the favorite in the Belmont Stakes. Bob and John, 9-2, finished 8th. A Fleet Alex, even odds, he won. He also won the Preakness and was 3rd, I believe it was, in the Kentucky Derby, which I say he should have won. It was a jockey's mistake the way he moved him inside to the rail, which was dead all day, instead of leaving him in several pass out. And then in the Preakness, a lot like journalism, he had that trouble in the final turn. He went down to his knees, and somehow the jockey didn't stay on. He was halfway off of him and was able to stay on and maintain and get the horse back on his feet, and ended up winning the race. And then went on and won the Belmont. So he is almost identical to, not identical, but he's very close to what journalism has done this year. So I can't disrespect anybody that bets journalism this year, because he is so similar to a Fleet Alex, and I was all over a Fleet Alex that year. Anyways, so as you can see, favorites do not do well in the Belmont Stakes. Now, the Raise a Native Sire pedigree line, my favorite, most powerful and critical pedigree factor for winning the Kentucky Derby, the Belmont Stakes, especially when it's at the traditional distance of 1.5 miles, as well as the Breeders' Cup Classic. 17 of the last 30 Belmont Stakes winners had to Raise a Native sire side pedigree line. It's the sire side, not the broodmare side. It is a proven factor for winning Belmont Stakes. 17 of the last 30, 54%, had the sire side Raise a Native pedigree. There are 4 runners in the race this year with the Raise a Native sire line: Hill Road, Uncaged, Baeza, and Journalism. So which one will be the winner? The X factor, or large heart trait. It has been proven in the being a critical pedigree factor in the Belmont Stakes, as well as the Kentucky Derby and the Breeders' Cup Classics. It's what has been attributed to Secretariat's unbelievable 31-length romp in the Belmont Stakes. After Secretariat passed, an autopsy was done and revealed his heart weighed 22 pounds. It was like 3 times the normal size of a thoroughbred's heart. That allowed his heart for pumping more oxygen to the blood, giving him more horsepower, if you will, like in a car, an engine, just more oxygen to burn the fuel. Car goes faster. His heart was 3 times the size of a normal thoroughbred. We have found that the X-Chromosome of War Admiral or Mahmoud in the broodmare side, in a proper location of the broodmare side, is a critical factor for getting these distances of 1.25 miles or longer on dirt. 20 of the last 29 Belmont Stakes winners had the X-Chromosome of War Admiral or Mahmoud. Only one of the horses in this year's field does not have it. Guess who it is? Yep, it is Baeza. Has some other pedigree factors that we like the Raise a Native sire sign. He would find it most difficult to win the traditional distance of 1.5 miles of the Belmont Stakes, but since it's at the shorter 1.25 mile, it does not rule him out from the win position. If it was at the 1.5 mile distance, it would certainly rule him out in my book. Could hit the trifecta, but would not use him on the top side in the win. Here's just a quick look at payouts, recent history payouts in the last 20 years of the Belmont Stakes. Of course, in the last 2 years, we had long shots, especially last year, $37 winner, $2 exact. It was $326. $2 try, $9.46. $1 super, $3,200. So you look down through here, $1,780. Then we have the favorites in 22, 21, and 20. So we got low payouts there. Then we have 19. We got a $22 winner on top. We got a $10,000 superfecta that year. 2018 favorite Triple Crown winner. 2017, 2016, $34 winner, paying 13,000, almost 14,000 in the dollars superfecta that year. 2015, another Triple Crown winner. So we got low payoffs. We're not getting a Triple Crown winner this year, but we might get low payoffs. 2014 to 2005. What do we got here? We got some long shot winners. What do we got in the exactas here? Exactas 348, 323. Got 928, 659. And our superfecta 2013, we got a $10,000, $1 superfecta. Look at 2011, $51 upset winner in 2011, paid $37,000 in the superfecta. We got 5,000 in 2010. In 2008, we had a dead heat for third, so we have two prices on the trifecta and the superfecta. Superfectas were $24,000 and $23,000 each, with a $79 winner on top. I don't think we're having a $79 winner on top, unless it is our Euro Invader Art of Honor. So you can see there is some decent prices here. Our average 10-year payouts in the Belmont Stakes on the win is $14.75, which is okay. All right, you put $20 winner, you hit that, you got yourself $140 minus 20, you made $120 profit. $2 exacted, $97. A $2 trifecta at $8.26. So if you're playing a dollar trifecta, it averaged $4.13. And if you're playing a 10-cent superfecta, you're getting like $40 for a dime. It's not bad. Dollar superfecta has averaged $3,275 in the last 10 years. So what we're really looking for this year is to pretty much be in line with our 10-year average of payouts in the Belmont Stakes. On the entire card, there'll be over $150 million wagered. On the race itself, it's usually around between $80 and $90 million. You want to make sure we're all getting our share of the big pools on Belmont Day, as it's a great racing card that features 5 pick 4 wagers and 6 pick 5 wagers. There's 14 races on the card. Then you got 6 pick 5s. I don't ever recall a card that had 6 pick 5s. We got a nice field of 8 horses, not 9 horses. Is journalism a lock to win? Not a lock. Not a lock. Will another favorite go down in the Belmont Stakes? Probably. Potential for big surprises looks certain. I think so. The favorites are hard to beat, especially in a small field, an 8-horse field. They're going to be hard to beat, but they are beatable. And we'll use them in the various pick 5s and the pick 4s as well. You can go out to our website and herethecome.com if you want to get our picks. We have our picks for the Belmont Stakes race only, as well as the full card picks, which features all 14 races and the pick 4s and pick 5s and all the pick 3s and all those good things. But with our Belmont Stakes picks, you'll get our win, exacta, trifecta, superfecta. It's no longer Gold Cup Belmont Stakes double. We got 2 other doubles this year. They're $5 doubles. One is with the Metropolitan Handicap in the Belmont Stakes, and the other one is with the Woody Stevens in the Belmont Stakes. And they have a minimum wager of $5 in each of those doubles. We also provide you with a strategy for structuring your wagers to cash in on trifectas and superfectas without boxing the entire field on everything. Here are the average payouts the last 10 years in the other graded stakes races on the card on Saturday. Remember, 6 pick 5s, 5 pick 4s, 14 races. So these are the graded races. And so we've put together what the 10-year average payout is for the win, the exacta, the trifecta, and the superfecta. So where we got the win prices are real low here, like in the P9 Ridge at 690, 696, the Metropolitan at 777. There are races where we probably can just use like the two favorites in the field in our pick fours and pick fives. And if you have the bankroll, put in one of the medium range odd runners in there. But then when you look at of course, the Belmont Stakes, the Jaipur, the Manhattan, and the Woody Stevens, their average payoffs are double digits. So we can use a favorite if you want to, maybe the second favorite, and then again a medium range odds runner, 7-1, 8-1, something like that is kind of looks to be the norm for winning those three races, plus the Belmont Stakes. So you look at the trifectas and the super payout if you want to when you're playing the individual races. For the trifectas, looks like the Woody Stevens and Jaipur is our best bets for getting nice payouts in addition to the Belmont Stakes. And then to say on the superfecta, well, we've got a dollar superfecta. So we got 5 of the races where we're going to get decent superfecta payouts if we hit the average. Belmont Stakes at 3,200, Metropolitan at 1,000, Jaipur at 2,700, Manhattan at 2,800, and a Woody Stevens at $5,800. Now, one thing you want to remember here, since we had the passing of Christophe Clement a week ago, the Manhattan Stakes, there's 3 horses from his barn entered in the Manhattan. I guarantee you one of them is going to win the race. Not certain which one it is. It's probably going to be Farbridge, the 9 horse with Rosario. But he also has the 4 and the 5. I'll guarantee you, I mean, it's only fitting that he wins this race. So I will be using all 3 of those in pick threes and doubles, and a couple of them in my pick fours and pick fives as well. But this gives you an idea, help you put together your multi-race wagers where you want to make sure you're using the favorites and forget the long shots. So we look at the exacta payoffs. These $2 exactas. I mean, they're low. The exception of the Jaipur and the Manhattan and the Woody Stevens, are over $100, but that's it. The rest of them under $100. So that's telling me that the 3 favorites are found in the exacta in these races. So take that into consideration. 14 races, big day at Belmont, Saratoga on Saturday. Of course, all week, starting on Wednesday through Sunday, is the Belmont Festival at Saratoga. Stake races every day. But on Saturday, we have the 8 graded stakes races of the 14 on the card. So if you want to get our full card picks, it's only $10 more than the Belmont stake picks. So it's well worth the investment. You'll get all of our top picks, exactas, trifectas, superfectas, daily doubles in the 14 races, along with the pick threes. There's 12 pick threes. You got the 5 pick fours, 6 pick fives, and a pick 6, and those 2 double races as well. The purses in the 8 graded stake races is $7 million, so they're going to be competitive, and it's going to be an exciting day of horse racing, one that all horse players will be participating. There is money to be made on Saturday. Who wins the 3rd leg of the Triple Crown? Will we get another year where there's a different winner in each leg? Or are we finally going to get a year where at least a horse has taken down 2 of the 3 legs? And there's only 2 horses that can get their 2nd leg, and that's journalism and sovereignty. Will a Tappet-sired horse is prominent in Belmont Stakes exacta in the win in 2nd. However, this year, none of the horses entered, of the 8 horses entered, trace their sire side back to Tappet. their top sire line back to Tappan. None of them, so you don't have to worry about that this year. Normally, it's a hot angle to use in picking winners and hitting your exact in the Belmont Stakes Day, at the mile and a half, not so much at the mile and a quarter. The race, even with two co-favorites, the race kind of looks wide open. It will be one exciting race. I guarantee that. You do not want to miss it. You do not want to miss it, and you can't watch it without putting a bet on it. This is, again, the full card picks, the 8 graded stake races, 5 grade 1s, 1 grade 2, 2 grade 3s. 2 of them are actually Breeders' Cup Challenge races where the winner gets automatic entry into the corresponding division in the Breeders' Cup at Del Mar in November. We did really well in our Kentucky Derby picks. We hit the exacta, trifecta, and the superfecta with our wagering strategy that we use for cashing in for $1,961 in the Kentucky Derby. In the Preakness, we cashed the exacta, but with the favorites in the short field, there was no big payoffs or anything like that. But we had the exacta in the Preakness. But we cashed in everything in Kentucky Derby across the board, exacta, trifecta, and superfecta. So sign up for our picks on the Belmont Stakes. Go out to our website and heretheycome.com, and you can sign up there. And the showdown, anticipation of the showdown, history in the making at Saratoga and the Belmont Stakes as the Preakness Stakes winner takes on the Kentucky Derby winner. Stay tuned. Who wins? Thanks for watching, guys.